This is my friend Noah. Noah has brought his brand new 2020 Carrera 4S for us to have a look at today.
And I'm excited to take a look at my friend Jay's 17-year-old Carrera 2.
And we thought today what we'd do is look at Noah's view of my car, my view of Noah's car, and I thought we'd have a look at Noah's thought process in buying his car and the process he went through to take delivery of it. So hope you enjoy this. Before we move on, let's have a look at Noah's car. It's a 2020 911 Carrera 4S 992, putting out 443 horsepower and 390 foot-pounds of torque. Original asking price was $152,190, and as you'll see from the window sticker here, Noah has really specified this superbly in this lovely colour of chalk with chalk seat belts. There's beautiful 21 inch RS Spider design wheels in a lovely spec here, and of course the important manual transmission, which makes it a rare car all by itself. So we've just taken a few measurements, Noah and I, and between the two cars, and oddly enough the 996 is actually the longer car. The length of the 996 is 170 inches versus 163 on the 992. However, when it comes to wheelbase, the measurement between the wheel caps on here and here is about 5 inches longer on the 992. The wheelbase on this is 97 inches and on the 996 it's 92.5. Same with the track. We measured the space between the edges of the wheels. We don't know if that's the correct way to do the track, but that's the way we've done it. There's a 4.5 inch difference. So the width between the edge of that wheel and the edge of that wheel is on this car 74 inches, 69.5 on here. So we'll see what that means when we get it out and drive both these cars, but already we're getting some interesting data here, I think.
In Jay's 911, there's some access to the engine, and if one wanted to, you could do some work on it yourself. It looks like a tight fit, well beyond my skill sets. Now, coming over to the 992, we have engine fluids, engine oil, and 2 nice fans venting the engine. That's it. All other work has really got to be done by a mechanic. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
Listen to the difference in how they sound when they start up. So let's have a quick reminder before we look at the 992 of the analog nature of the 996. As you'll see inside, no digital dials, a few LCD dials, but nothing that you would call state-of-the-art anymore. Nevertheless, it is a nice place to be. Whereas in here, look at these screens, how it has evolved in 17 years. There's a lot of difference in here. What I'm pleased to see is that the rev counter is still analog, which is nice. The script has all changed in it, but everything else is digital. And unexpected in this car, or at least I wasn't expecting it, a manual stick shifter. Whoa, thank goodness for that. This is going to make me very jealous because I've got a Tiptronic. And I really like how everything blends in so that when you switch it off, it all goes back to black, which is really cool. The other change for the 992 compared with the 991 is that the tower of buttons that were down here have now been moved onto the screen, or moved up to the 5 buttons that you have here. And then below you have your air conditioning, front screen and stereo controls. Further down, the sunroof controls, heated and cooled seats, and then of course a cup holder. And in the glove compartment there's a useful place to store your phone, along with various slots for SIMs, SDs, USB cords, and so on. And this particular car is specified with the Sports Chrono Pack, which includes this lovely chronometer at the top for recording your lap times, but also this little Manettino switch that the Ferrari guys would call it, that you can turn. And then what that will do is adjust your driving style and the sports dampers and so on into wet, individual, which you can configure, normal, sport, sport plus. And also on the steering wheel you have this adjustable switch which allows you to change the second part of the screen from range and temperatures, trip, your map, sport chrono, G-force, where your wheels are being driven, tyre pressures and so on, and gear shift assist. So the other beauty of having a manual gearbox in a Porsche these days is it will help you to decide when you should change gears. So drive number one, let's see what Noah makes of a 17-year-old 911. Off we go. It's maybe a bit down on power compared to yours, what do you think?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a little, yeah, the power is different, but this one's powerful. This one is fabulous. It's true. Anyone who...
It's fast enough, I reckon.
It really is. I think you'll have less of a chance you would have less of a chance getting yourself in trouble, I think. Similarity, which I really enjoy, is the front fenders look the same from my 911, this 911. That's something that carries through for all of them. I think it's just really neat. And
I was going to say, there is a lot actually that is similar. There's probably more similar than there are things here that separate our two cars. In terms of the looks, the heritage, you know, okay, so the electronics and the engine is a bit different, but the overall experience in driving it, would you say that they are similar?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's not a doubt that you're in a 911. There was a point in late March after I had ordered this car, but the factory was shut down. My wife was 100% convinced that the factory would remain shut down for years and I would never be able to get the car. So she encouraged me to go and look and buy another 911 while I was awaiting delivery of the one that I ordered. And I went, I drove a convertible 997 and in Danbury, and this car is just so much better. That car was so loose and there was rattles every time I made a turn.
Really?
This is the first time I've been behind the wheel of a 996. This is fabulous.
This feels quite tight then as an older car then, you think?
Yes, absolutely.
So what made you change your mind and go for a brand spanking new one?
There were a lot of factors, and I think my calculus is somewhat probably ridiculous coming out of my mouth, but my car was absolutely going to be my daily driver. My wife thought that it would be frivolous to have more cars than drivers. Not looking at the pricing on the cars, I wanted something that I knew would be reliable, that would not have an issue, that in case there was a problem I can bring it to the dealer, that I would have access to a loaner car. And I really was looking for something that would be not anywhere near a project and 100% frustration-free, ability to get in the car, turn the key and go. And that was probably some of the biggest part of my calculus.
Makes a lot of sense.
Wanted something that was particular. I wanted a particular set of features that I didn't want to have to chase down. And I'm a big fan of electronics, and I really, really wanted CarPlay in my car.
Yeah.
And so, and you know what?
That's why you don't want a 996 then, because there is nothing in here. So now I'm really looking forward to this. A manual 992. Let's get out there with Noah's kind permission and see what this car is like to drive and how it compares with my 996. So what I love about getting into this car is the first thing I see is this stitching on the dash, which I just think feels luxurious. Also I see a clutch pedal, which is just a real pleasant surprise to see. I'm so much looking forward to driving that. Also, I've got my behind air conditioned at the moment. I've got the air conditioned seats on. The seats themselves, by the way, are 18-way seats. So I thought my 996 seats were comfortable, which they are, but these are another level. Otherwise, you know, it feels very similar. The car wraps itself around you. It doesn't feel appreciably bigger, even though we measured it 5 inches in each direction bigger. It doesn't feel, at least sitting here, appreciably bigger. Oh yeah. So the manual gearbox is precise and the clutch is nicely weighted, not too heavily weighted. The car feels really sturdy. I really do take your point, Noah, about having a car that is under warranty and that you don't have to worry about. That is the one thing I would say that I'm slightly annoyed about my car, is that Porsche really cheaped out with that engine, the IMS bearing and that kind of thing, the air oil separator. Every time I get a slight bit of smoke coming out of my exhaust pipe, I think, oh my God, has it all gone wrong? In this, you don't feel that at all, because of course if it does, you can take it back. And I think there's a lot to be said for that. This feels quite a bit more powerful. Which is fine. You know, I feel that my car, and I'm not making apologies for the 996, because I think when you compare a car that is so different in price and age, there really is no correct answer. I think you buy a car for your needs, which is what we both did. And, you know, but there is plenty of power in a 996. This with a manual gearbox, though, is a absolute pleasure. As with all 911s, this still feels very usable. It doesn't feel like, you know, it's a one-trick pony. All it does is go around corners fast. It still retained that usability that I love so much about my car. When you're pushing around bends, of course, this will go around them no problem at all. But the ride is still comfortable and pliant and nice.
Do you want to try the sport mode?
That's a good idea. Let's put it into sport mode and try it in sport mode. Now, does that do anything to the exhaust? Do you know? Does it
the sport mode, it's the sports exhaust mode, and then if we go sports plus, it will activate the suspension, as the sports suspension as well.
Let's go into sport plus then. Already then I felt it tighten up.
Yes.
You know, I felt the car tighten. An analog digital speedo which goes up in helpful increments of 25 miles an hour. I don't know what country in the world measures them in 25 miles an hour, but it's certainly Porsche's, and it's worse than useless in my opinion. But what it has done is retained a digital readout of the speedo, which is what I use on mine. And it's right in the middle of the rev counter here, which is very helpful and easy to find. It's almost as if the speedometer on Porsche 911s are ornamental, because I find them so useless. This car has literally done 601 miles. So I'm thrilled that, and it rev matched there a little bit as well.
Yes.
I'm thrilled that Noah's brought this out, so thank you very much, Noah.
Oh, my pleasure.
I didn't notice it rev matching in normal mode.
I don't think it does.
Yeah, I think Sport Plus mode, Noah, is the way forward. That blipping of the revs when you change down, that's addictive.
It is. It really is.
And I don't see there's a need for really sport or normal mode.
Well, the normal mode is nice around town.
When you want to be sensible, I suppose.
Yeah, it's much smoother.
Yeah.
If that's your thing, but if that's your thing, this probably isn't your car.
Exactly. Yeah. We just change down again because it revs when I do it, and I love it. I did not rev that myself. That did that all by itself, and it's glorious. That blip on the down change would make you want to change gears more and more often. It makes you feel like you're a god of driving when that happens.
Right?
I'll just do it again.
It's wonderful. It
is
really
wonderful.
is.
Yeah, it is wonderful. So in fact, combination of the Sports Plus Sport Chrono package and that exhaust out the back, that works really well. That works really well because you get the blip, you get the crackling exhaust, and the manual. Those three things are a good combination to have with this car. Look at that, two 911s next to each other.